Hello everyone, this is Bussy Wales and we're going to be doing a new series on the channel today. We're actually going to be playing some Medieval 2 Total War. So this is one of my favourite Total War games when I was growing up, when I was younger, and to this day it is still one of my old favourites in terms of the Total War franchise. I do very much enjoy the newer Total Wars, Warhammer 2, Three Kingdoms I haven't really played that much, but I did enjoy what I did play. But I fancy playing a bit of Medieval 2. Now, for those of you who are more familiar with the newer Total Wars, this may seem very clunky, but it is a gem of a Total War game. So we're going to be doing a Let's Play on this on the channel. Something a bit different to Siege, but we're probably going to be alternating between videos, so every 2 videos may be Siege, or that may be replaced with maybe some Call of Duty or some Battlefield, and then the other 2 videos will be some Medieval for the time being, but that may change to other things as well. But we're going to be starting a short campaign, which is to only hold 15 regions, and we need to eliminate France and Scotland. Now we do pretty much border France immediately, as you can see on the map here, and then we've got Scotland just to our north, but after about turn 1 we'll be bordering them as well, so we should have some conflict straight off the bat. So who haven't played Medieval 2 Total War before, if you do start a new campaign you will be greeted with these 5 factions here. So we've got England, France, Holy Roman Empire and Spain. Oh, and Venice as well. So these are the 5 you start off with, and what Medieval 2 does is when you're going through a campaign, every time you eliminate a faction, so say if you're playing as England and you eliminate Scotland before you complete a campaign, you unlock those factions which you destroy. However, if you complete the short campaign, you do then unlock all factions to play as. The only ones you do not get to play as is the Mongols, the Timurids I think they're called, and the Papal States. But yeah, so I think we're going to be playing an England campaign. So as you can see up here, their strengths, they boast superb longbowmen and strong infantry, and then their weaknesses is they field a poor variety of cavalry. So the longbowmen are what you really want to be focusing on, but in terms of army builds, if any of you guys have played Total War, especially the newer ones, I'm not sure if any of you have heard of Legend of Total War. If you watch his content, and you'll see especially in sort of Warhammer, which he focuses on quite a bit at the moment, is you kind of build doom stacks, so you focus on certain types of armies and you build them accordingly. But with Medieval we'll kind of just pick what's ever available at the time, so it should be giving us a variety of different units to see on the battlefield and such. So we're going to be playing on very hard. Again, we're going to be doing a short campaign for now, but if we complete this and we still feel like playing, then we'll carry on over to a long campaign. But I'm not going to spoil what can happen further into the campaign if you are on a long one, if you've never played this before. So that might be something exciting to get to see. But we're going to go ahead and start, and I'll be quiet for this cinematic.
With the Norman conquest and a crowned king came the dawning of a new era for England. Nobles ordered the construction of mighty castles to fortify the realm. To rule this land is a birthright, but to control it requires the courage and skill few possess. It is a kingdom beset by enemies. The Scots press at its borders, the Vikings to the north, and the French separated by a mere channel of water. All of the country exists in a state of war, as even the common are called upon for duty. In these times of total war, it rests on the shoulders of those who lead to ensure the kingdom does not fall into ruin.
those little intro movies get me every time when I want to play this game. I don't know, it's just something about those intro cinematics which are great. But here is the campaign map. So as you can see, we start with 3 regions to begin with. We've got Caen down here in France. We've also got London and Nottingham. And at the moment we have our captain over here. So a couple of spear militia, peasant archer and some peasants. We've got a family member, Robert, here. Medieval 2 does have a family tree. There it is. So we got William the Conqueror here. He's in London at the moment. He's our faction leader. And then we got Prince Rufus. He's 26. William's 50 at the moment. And then Robert is a brother. We do also have Cecilia, which is a princess. So you can send her off to find an eligible suitor. And you have a chance of stealing that general onto your own faction, so you gain an extra general. However, she can then leave to go to theirs. Alternatively, you can arrange a marriage with her with another faction, and that will allow you to sort of gain a really good alliance with them, essentially. So yeah, she can...
Daughter of the Crown.
If we just click on... well, I can't show any yet. If we say went to Angers...
somewhere a lady should be going.
Which if we just get her across, as you can see here, she does double up as a diplomat. So you can have the diplomacy here, as you can see on this screen here. So her missions, or the princess's missions, which they can do is they can look to marry the general. And as I said, there's a success chance for her to get married, and then there's also a chance for you to steal that general, which is pretty cool. But we're going to put her on the mainland here, and what I'm thinking is I'm going to send her over to Denmark and create an alliance with them, because we don't want to create an alliance with France because we are going to be essentially ending up going to war with them. We don't want one with Scotland because we'd want to secure all of the British Isles for ourselves. So yeah, I think I'm going to send her over to Denmark, create an alliance with them, so we have a... well, in previous playthroughs of this, I've seen them come all the way down to Bruges, so if I am going to be having a conflict here on the mainland of Europe, I don't really want to be going to war with them, and they could be quite a strong ally as well. So we've got Prince Rufus here, so we've got 2 peasant archers and 2 spear militia. We're going to send him over to York, so they got a garrison of 5 units. What we can do is we can just send him over. So this is our spy. So if you send them into settlements, whether they're castles or cities, he has a chance to infiltrate them, and if you're looking to siege those cities, he can have a chance to open the gates for you, so you don't require siege equipment. But yeah, they do come with little movies like this. I mean, realistically, I don't think that would work, but clearly that guard doesn't know what's going on. But yeah, so we'll watch this first one. If we get a different one, we may watch it. But otherwise we'll just click through them. So as we see here, they've got some peasants, some spear militia, more peasants and 2 archers. So not too much. We do have a few more troops here, but they can't reach York. So if we sent them this time, merged them with Rufus, they wouldn't reach. So we wouldn't be able to attack on the same way. So we'll go ahead and take York. We'll just make a maintain siege right now.
The siege goes, yes.
And William, what I'm going to do with him is I'm going to leave everyone but the peasants, and he is going to go over to Copenhagen.
I've tried whipping them, sire. The men are spent by your command.
Yeah, so he's going to take the settlement over here in North Wales, while Rufus is taking York. Robert, so I'm going to have them. So they got 5 as well. I believe they have cavalry actually. So we're going to take
as you wish, sire.
In Normandy.
Siege, sire. The
Build a
siege
couple of
goes
rams.
your will, sire. Orders.
So Robert can't reach that army there. If we send him over, hopefully he can reinforce the battle,
tomorrow,
but
sire.
don't think he will.
Then, sire. My lord.
Yeah, they won't reach all either now. So with France,
what is it you would talk to us about?
see if we can get some map information from them.
No.
Oh, they want trade rights as well.
Us to agree.
Tab date there. So they want trade rights map information for map information, but I mean we'll accept that for now.
Très bien. France will
More
not
than likely
forget
they'll
this.
attack us before we attack them, because I want to be focusing on Scotland and taking over the British Isles and Ireland. So yeah, they'll more than likely attack us
meeting,
first.
mon ami.
So we'll just get rid of that. So if we see, we've got diplomacy here, and you can also see in here as I hover over, shows us our religion and our reputation, which is mixed at the moment. Just to start off,
At your service.
we do also have a merchant, and you can see these little resources on the ground campaign. If you send a merchant over to them, he'll start making some florins per turn. So as you can see, 31 here, 12 here, and so on and so forth. So yeah, probably worth sending him over to this
Journeying
one,
onward.
but he'll probably get knocked off
Daughter
by a
of the
French
Crown.
merchant. So we're gonna have her
Yes.
go up there,
Ships ready.
merge our navy, and
Yes,
just dock
sir.
them here.
Full sail.
And we need to do some management. Okay, so we are going to start with land clearance first. Just get that on the go. Again, land clearance. We'll recruit some units there. And yeah, we'll get some Thai militia and in Khan. Yeah, land clearance again, and some cavalry spearmen. So in terms of recruitment, your castles are going to be recruiting your sort of true military unit. So as you can see here, we've got spear militia here, but then levy spearmen. So as we can see, they've got an attack of 5, charge bonus is 2, and total defense of 7. Whereas these guys are the same by the looks of it. Yeah, 5, 2, 7. Skill trim, fighting cavalry, combat resistance code. Yeah, so they're the same for the moment, but essentially your cities will be making your income, and they will be able to recruit sort of militias, so spear militias, tank militias, militia archers and things like that. So they're not going to be really your recruitment settlement for this type of faction, whereas say for the factions of Milan or Venice, your militias are quite strong, and then your castles are going to be your military buildings to get better units as billmen, levy spearmen, some archers, and so on and so forth. So that's sort of the two differences, and you can, if we go on here, you can convert between the two. So if you don't want one to be a castle, and so on, you can move.
Yes, Your Highness. In God's name.
So we'll move in here.
Continuing
As you can see, if
one
you
side rest.
select
I
a
am
priest or a
straight,
cardinal,
sir.
as we
I
are a
shall
Catholic
continue
faction,
tomorrow.
we've got
God's
90% here or 85% here. So we want to send him to bring up the religion in whichever's lowest for the moment.
Yes, my lord.
So
My orders, my lord.
I think that's everything we can do this
Your
turn
will,
for the
sir.
moment. We are going to have a battle with
Orders.
York. And in terms of the videos themselves, we're going to aim for about 20 to 30 minutes per episode.
To battle it
We
is,
try and
then,
get at least
sire.
one battle in for every episode. So
Our sieging army is at your command,
can
sire.
recruit a mercenary crossbow. These are quite strong units, as they do have armor piercing. Yeah, effective, a good armor. So yeah, we'll take one of them, and yeah, let's have our
war,
first
then,
battle.
sire.
Here we go. So balance of power is in our favour. We got 701. They got 691. But yeah. So
I shall lead our forces into battle, my lord.
So yeah, as saying, we're going to aim for about 20 to 30 minutes per episode. We may do some longer ones if quite a lot of things are happening per turn. No, we don't want fog. Can we get a dry day? Yeah, there we go.
Units, await my
Okay.
orders.
Let's have a look. So we've got General's Bodyguard, Peasants. Right, let's take them off skirmish. Fire up a grad. You as well. Okay, so we can't see how they're deployed at the moment. Right, so I think I'm going to try and draw them out here and have my cavalry go in to flank them. So I'll put Rufus, our prince, over here. Yep. Bring our archers and a spearman. Okay. So let's see how this sets up. So I do believe our crossbows have much more range than our peasant archers. So Is my music sign that's not on? There's music. Ah, there it is. Let's put that to 20%. Should hear some battle music. So they're defended over there. So I'm gonna send Rufus in here, see if we can get these archers. Taking up a weird formation. So what have we got here? Peasants, peasants, and then they've got archers and spear militia. Yeah, so they're already falling back. So we'll have him there. Right, our crossbows can fire. I want to check their arc, make sure they're not shooting at. We want to kind of go them straight. Yeah, I'm not too sure where Medieval 2 came out, but for an older game, it doesn't look too bad, but you definitely will see sort of controls, UI, things like that. It is a bit clunky. You know, your unit's movement and how they pathfind, yeah, can definitely be a bit, essentially shows its age. I think it's the best way to describe it. So let's just speed up here and see what they do. So we can attack them, and they are just some peasants. I would like to get in the back range here, so let's bring Prince Rufus over there. Okay. So we're taking out a few here. Hopefully the spear militia don't push over. Which they are. So we'll just pull him back for a moment. So. See what they do. So they've moved forward, so now they're going to get all three. They're in range of our normal archers. Could do a charge, but I don't really want to do a charge on that. I could do... send a unit of spearmen over this way to bog them down and then send the cavalry round the back. Don't think they're going to push out on me. No, I don't think so. So we pretty much destroyed these peasants. Yeah, moving fast. They're still there, so we're just waiting for the spearmen to get over. Once they've bogged them down, we'll do a rear charge into them. I should take them out. Just speed up a bit. So they are moving again. Just give them an attack order.
General's bodyguard.
Get those pirates, those peasants as well. Give them a charge order. Get them right in the back. There we go. That's what we like to see. Right, they shouldn't push all the way out, I wouldn't think. I mean, they'll probably die before that happens anyway. Right, so let's give Rufus. They're running. Let's get them out of the way.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
So yeah, General's Bodyguard are very strong cavalry, especially for early game. They can pretty much tank a couple of units, really. All you got to make sure is that the General himself is not getting attacked. So as you can see here, his model is a little bit bloody. And this essentially shows your general's hit points, really. So you kind of want the bodyguard units themselves to be taking the damage and not him. Otherwise he will die in battle. So they're doing what they need to do. Don't really think there's much more we can do in here, really. Right, so we should just be able to get into all of these. Just charge there. Not a great charge, but as you can see, Prince Rufus is here, not being directly attacked, which is good. They're going to go down quite quickly. Yeah, they're still being occupied. There we go. So let's get them in here. There we go,
The
enemy general.
lies dead.
So that was just a
Send
captain.
the base curse.
So if they don't have a general's bodyguard unit within the army, it will just put a captain on one of the basic units. So we're going to pull out and see if we can do
The battle is very much in our
charge
favor.
on them.
If we
But
remain
that stopped
true
them
and
from firing,
steadfast,
so we shouldn't be taking
victory
any
will be
damage.
ours.
It's like a 40 models. Let's attack. Not getting any good charges off. Right. Let's bring a spear unit in. And I'm wondering if we can bring them in to shoot the back of the spear militia. I think that'll be useful. So just give a couple of... Right, I don't like where he is. So we can get him out. We don't want him to die. Right, so he's sort of at the back now, which is better. But as you can see here, this is ranking him up, which is really good. He's taking a bit of damage, but where is Prince? He's right at the back, so that's fine. Happy to leave him here. Let's bring them round here. I don't think they'll be able to fire that much right now, so I'll just give them a pause order. So we don't want them having any friendly fire on our general.
The enemy are badly bloodied.
Right.
They have
So
lost
the
half
spear
their
militia
men.
are attacking our general now, so we'll just pull him out. We'll have them attack from the back to keep him occupied so we can get the flank charge in there. Right, where are you facing? Still attacking? Yeah. Charge off. Terrible charge. So they're still fighting. They've got 92 left. Yeah, that's not going to be too much of an issue. Let's speed us up a little bit.
The battle is very much in our favour.
Right,
If
so
we
just
remain
want to
true
keep
and
the
steadfast,
spear militia
victory will
essentially
be ours.
occupied. Which looks like they're doing a bit of a charge. So let's bring my other unit in. We should wrap this battle up and we'll gain York. Looks like they're trying to fire at the crossbows. Strange. Let's see where Rufus is. Yeah, he's at the back again, which is good. Yeah. So we'll just let this play out now. Okay, nice couple of shots. I do love, on Total War games all the time, I do love, in the battles, as much as you're trying to micromanage and make sure you're getting your units the right orders and things, sometimes just coming in here like this and just watching them all fight. It's just something you
I
gotta
see,
do.
my lord, we've lost control of the city.
There we go, so he's already ranked 3 at the moment. And this is just from the first battle, really. Right, okay, so 20, 11, yeah, so it should be fairly quickly. And as you can see down here, this little symbol, this is how many captures you get in the battle, which you can then either ransom, release or execute, and they'll both give you sort of different buffs to stats and things like that. So if you're just executing them, they'll give you general dread. If you're releasing them, you look to gain some chivalry, and if you ransom, you can potentially get some money.
That goes to only men of great virtue
If they
and
belong to a
valor.
faction anyway. With rebels, there's no one to ransom them to. So here we go. We lost 70 men, and they lost all of their men because it was a settlement battle. So they had nowhere to retreat. So that's pretty good.
Victory! Nothing can stop us, sire.
Okay,
The settlement
so
is
here we go, we
fallen.
captured the settlement,
Take
and
the
we have 3
spoils
options.
of
So we can
war.
occupy it, and as you can see there, it gives us a little bit of money. We can sack it, it does massacre some of the populace, and again you get a bit more money, and then you can exterminate them, which increases the amount of population you kill, which usually also gives you a little bit less money in looting. But again, generally, sort of these two will look to give you general some dread. But let's have a look. So we'll get 120, 240. So we are going to sack the settlement in this instance. So here we come. So winning first. Merciless actions on the battlefield increase this man's aura of dread, and he's gained 1 dread. So if if we quickly go on to him, which you can see here, so he's got 3 command, 1 dread, he's got 5 loyalty and 3 piety, and this is sort of how religious he is. Some traits here, so he's heir apparent, talented for command, promising commander, and winning fairs, and he doesn't have any retinue at the moment. So we captured York, we're going to give some land clearance there. We're going to send our spy up to Scotland just to see what they're doing.
Tomorrow's
So as you
journey.
can see, we've got a prince here. Click faction leader and a Scottish family member. So they'll probably try and take Inverness, which is up here, which is a castle, but they may fail. So I think that's going to do it for this episode, episode 1. I will try and get another episode out tomorrow, and we'll continue with our England campaign on Medieval 2 Total War. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Bye guys.